CANDU Sports Show. It's a Philly thing, or Donray. I don't know what side of the screen you're on, but your host, Scott Blair, and
Donray Bennett, Philly's finest. We're here. It's that time of the year, baby.
that's right. Listen, I'm here for it, and let's get right to it. Super Bowl,
Let's
it's
get right
here.
to it.
How are we
Two,
feeling?
we got the two best teams, the two teams playing the best ball, I should say. Um, it's a rematch. The refs are on notice. I, I'm excited. I have so many good things to say about my Philadelphia Eagles. Um, but Kansas City's a team that knows how to win. Somehow, some way, they'll play to your level and then outplay you the last 2 minutes of the game. Like that's their mantra. Even just about for 3.5 quarters and then finish out strong and somehow barely beat everyone that they play against. Um, but I think it's a different beast. It's a different beast this year, and I have my reasons. But what's your initial take?
Eagles are going to win. I just feel confident in one, their defense is playing really, really well. Um, Hopefully, Jalen Carter's okay. I think I had read somewhere that he's a little dinged up, maybe, sort of, maybe not.
Everyone's sick. It's
Oh,
everyone's
is that
sick
it? Okay.
between strep throat and flu and whatever's going through the Northeast. Moms, hope you're doing better. She's got it. We had it in this
Hmm.
household. Something is going through. So a couple, it was like 4 or 5 Eagles, I believe, that were
Okay.
pretty sick on earlier this week.
Okay.
Mitch Quinyon Mitchell too. I know
Quinyon
he.
Mitchell.
I
Okay.
think he had strep. But yeah, word is, I believe everyone's gonna be good.
Okay.
Everyone's good to go.
I would assume so. So with everyone back, I believe in Saquon Barkley. I believe in your defense. And I think it's as simple as that. Kansas City, of course, there's the hoopla of the fact that they're going for the three-peat, first time since the Packers back in, I don't know, nobody was around then, a long time ago. But let's be real about Kansas City. Yes, they've won. Rudy Tomjanovich, the heart of a champion, right from the Houston Rocket days. But if we want man, I got all sorts of quotes, right? Herm Edwards, you play to win the game, but they haven't really won pretty, right? And I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? But I just like the way the Eagles are playing right now. They're on a run, and they just seem like they're in sync. I'm gonna ride that out in New Orleans. Go Eagles. Yeah, I'm taking the under. Not that we're about betting, but I'm taking the under, and of course, taking the Eagles in the spread. I
So
think they're
here's
gonna
the
win by like four.
right.
As long as freaking Sirianni doesn't go for two all the time. That's the
Was
one thing.
see
So,
here's the thing. 2 years ago when we lost to Kansas City and the refs, um, it was I believe we had a little bit more talent than them, maybe even, but I thought we out talented
I
them.
got to take this off. I'm going to break out in hives.
Okay.
All right, go Eagles, but I got
Um,
to take this off.
but I also believe that they had the better coaching definitively. And now here we are again. Kansas City, I believe, has the better coaching. Um, but we've closed the gap considerably between Kellen Moore and Steve Spagnuolo, or Kellen Moore and Vic
Fangio.
Fangio. And so, while I still think Spags is the better defensive coordinator, I still think Andy's the better offensive mind. At the end of the day, the gap is close enough that talent will dictate the winner. And here's the thing about a great, offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, superstars on the other side who play beyond human means, normal range of human means, they're the disruptors. They're the ones that could put all of that perfect game planning out the window. Andy Reid can know exactly what we're going to run as a defense. He could audible, set up something to where the play call is perfection. But if Jalen Carter runs through
Yeah.
the center, the guard, whomever, and disrupts the play before it can get started, all of that planning means nothing. And so his superhuman abilities, Quignon's ability to shut down the side, Cooper's ability to take the slot away, which is how we got dominated the last time around with those little outs at the goal line. Cooper DeJean plays tremendously on the slot receivers, and when they have a good feel of how to switch off and whatnot. Go back and watch the Bengals game week 5 or whatever it was, 6. When we played the Bengals, they ran a whole bunch of rub routes, a whole bunch of um, mesh routes, and the communication between the D-backs, between the secondary was phenomenal. And then you got Zach Braun in there, who's gone from practice squad or special teams dude to linebacker savant, who you see some of his reaction to plays as they're developing. He knows where they're going. That's somebody studying tape. So that type of skill set, in addition to
So I'm guessing
a
you're going to pick Kansas City.
yeah. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game because one, it's the Super Bowl. Two, there are refs that can somewhat control it. And then three, Kansas City is a championship team with championship players and championship coaching. So it'd be disrespectful to say anything else.
There you have it.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout. If it was an NFC championship blowout, I'm talking 51-13 and 13 points in garbage time or something. Maybe they got 10 by the half. They get three in a second. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm feeling
I
it.
I could see like a 10-point win where Kansas City's trying to make a rally at the end to score and get an onside kick kind of thing, but it doesn't work. And then it's finally for the first time in like forever, Mahomes isn't able to rally them. I can see that. I can see that. I can see Philly going next level bananas on Broad Street
Yeah.
and you calling me and telling me how great everything is. So I'm here for it
Jalen,
though.
look, Jalen Carter. Who's your MVP? Who's your MVP? I was about to say
Take
Jalen
one.
Carter, but
Take one.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope he gets his.
He's going to rock out a 60-yard run. Just that's what he's been doing, right?
Okay,
So,
that was gonna be my other question. Does he
yeah,
have a touchdown run
he just
for
does. He's
more
like
than
Barry
50 yards?
Sanders. He's like Barry Sanders. Like just all of a sudden, boom, he's gone. So,
Okay. So it doesn't turn into a they stack the box and Jalen ends up throwing for four. Because remember the last Super Bowl, he
oh,
threw for
hey,
500 yards.
Washington was throwing guys in the box and still couldn't stop him. So, yeah,
Sure. Well, I mean, he really only rushed for like 60 yards for the rest of the game. Not that
that's
he
all you
needed
need.
to,
That's all you need. That's all you
but
need.
after that first run, he kind of set the stage. But here's the thing,
You
Jalen
just need one.
killed that defensive secondary.
Well, that's why. Because then all
500
of a sudden,
yards. He
because
threw
the
for five.
RPO, because then you got to
Exactly.
play it. So,
Boo, 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 boo. All right, so that's your call. So you've got the Birds winning outright. You've got the under. You think it'll be a low scoring game, but they'll win by four or so.
both teams will be like in the, yeah, like 28 to
20s. Sure.
17 or something like that.
Got you.
So
And you got Saquon as the MVP with
I'm gonna
at
take
least
it.
one big run.
I'm gonna take that as my score. I think it's gonna be 28-17. I don't think the Eagles kick any field goals, touchdowns. Give me
Wow.
28-17.
I'm going Eagles. Um, 41. That's five tutties and two field goals, just like Super Bowl against the Patriots. I'm gonna go 41-7.
They say like
41-7 birds.
41-24 or something.
41-7
Okay,
birds.
I'm here for it.
MVP, when you
J-
score 41
Jalen
points,
Carter,
when you score 41 points, it probably has to be an offensive player, unless they score a defensive touchdown like Quinyon Mitchell
AJ
might
Brown.
do, like Cooper DeJean might do, um, like Garner Johnson might. We're getting a pick six.
Jalen Hurts gonna throw for 300 plus.
But if Carter can get, in addition to his three sacks
It's in the dome. Yeah,
and
he'll
four
score.
pressures, if Carter can get a pick, a scoop and score, then he'll be MVP. But I'm gonna go with, I think we're gonna put up a lot of points, but I'm gonna go with Quinyon Mitchell.
All right,
I think he gets a
book it.
pick six. Pick six, first rookie. I think he'd be the first rookie MVP, Super Bowl MVP, first defensive MVP in a minute. I'm going Quinyon Mitchell.
All right, book it. Book it. Go Eagles.
Let's go.
All
All
right.
right, let's move. Let's move because there was this big thing that just happened that people are saying is a historic trade. Um, some guy by the name of Luka Doncic, 25-year-old Megalo superstar, global star, was traded in the wee hours of the night, just like the Colts were moved from, overnight. Baltimore, they had some flashbacks the same way. I mean, no one knows what happened. All of a sudden, you wake up and Luka Doncic is a Laker for AD I mean, they barely get picks. I mean, what happened, sir? Explain to the people what in the world happened.
Well, I think it's pretty clear Dallas was done with Luka, and for whatever reason, certainly think that you would have been able to get more. The return, shout out to my Chicago Bulls fans. It looked like a Bulls trade where you trade away a notable player, and uh, when they traded Levine, a friend of mine said, "Well, what did the Bulls get back?" I said, "They got a Tim Duncan bobblehead, is what they got back." So it's a so take now A Davis, Anthony Davis, sure, fantastic. But I think it shows, regardless of what someone may or may not say, Dallas was tired of Luka, to just ship him out like that. Um, Good luck. I'm just gonna say that. Good luck. I'm not a huge Mavericks fan. I don't care for the Lakers. I never have. Is it good for the Lakers? Sure, because everything that everyone has said about now having a next generational star when LeBron retires in 10 years, you'll be good. That was on purpose. But yeah, from Dallas perspective, I mean they're loaded. I mean they've got players, but to just on the surface to say you got Anthony Davis for Luka and one first round draft pick, look what um gosh, I just blanked. Who had Rudy Gobert before he went to Minnesota? Was it
Utah.
Utah, right? Look at what they got back. They missed out.
That's my thing. So let's whether or not they have legit reasoning, I'm sure they do, right?
Oh,
And
they
you
do.
don't
They
want to
didn't. They
if
never
you have a
dealt with
lot of
them.
questions, yeah, if you have a lot of questions about health and whatnot, you don't want to sign him to 300 and whatever million super max, which is now he's left on the table because he's on a new team. I get that. What I don't understand is why you don't if you put him on the trade block, even if you know you're only going to LA, you can drive up the price. Now, maybe you come back and say, yeah, but then a third team wouldn't come in because apparently Danny Ainge had no idea. And he said he wouldn't have helped out the trade to happen had he known. So maybe that is the mindset of other folks around the league. But I guarantee you only need one. You only need one other person to say, all right, I'll help you do that. If I can get some picks out of, we're flailing, we got to start over, or Brooklyn Nets of sorts or something like
Yeah.
that. So why wouldn't you float it out for the whole NBA, the association? He's on the block. And we're doing this in 24 hours. I want your best
I'm
offer.
with you.
And then when you get something, you go to the Lakers and say, look, here's what we're looking at. So I understand that's what you want to give, but you got to get something more.
Hmm.
And they let them figure it out. And you couldn't have gotten two, three first round picks, a couple second. Like there was just no way you maximized that trade. And now let the record show because of the depth of the team, the Mavericks, and because Kyrie now has even more to play with, and because AD can go to his preferred four
Yeah.
position, it's not crazy to say they're a better team or that they have better chances of winning a championship.
Yeah.
Kyrie's shown he can do that if he has
They're a
one
better
other guy
team.
on right. When Kyrie played with Kevin Love was stretch four, he was his best form. So he they actually, yes, could return to the finals and do all that. I'm not debating that at all. I'm saying for your future, why wouldn't you get more
We might be.
from the Lakers situation? That's all I don't get. I have no problem with do what you need to do, save the money, get whatever. Why wouldn't you play the game more to get more out of AD and plus?
We might be looking at this the wrong way. Couple weeks ago, LeBron broke the most amount of games scoring 30 points or whatever. He passed Michael Jordan on that list. And when they interviewed Anthony Davis after the game, he said, took LeBron 7 more seasons. Maybe that's why he got traded. I'm joking, but maybe not.
Hey, it could have rubbed him. I heard that clip, but I didn't hear the whole interview,
It
and
was funny.
I just assumed that they took it out of context, or he was trying to
That
be
was just,
funny.
yeah, he was just trying to be funny.
Uh,
But we'll see.
but
I'm not much love to OKC. They're the power out west. I just don't see this changing. Golden State with their trade for Jimmy Butler, I don't see any of that changing. OKC um, is the power, and I still have mad respect for Denver. And yeah, we shall see. Meanwhile, what happened in Minnesota? That was the dumbest trade this past summer. So teach their own. They thought it would work.
I actually did too. I thought they would be a. I thought they might. Well, I didn't know what their backup plan was in terms of filling the middle and whatnot. I thought DiVincenzo on that team was going to make a. When you have a long perimeter that can shoot and play D, it's tough. I just
Yeah.
thought I assumed they had something since
Nope.
Cat really wasn't in the middle. He was in the middle, but loved to be on the perimeter as much as anybody. I assumed their backup plan was all right. We got another perimeter guy. We need a big guy for the big guy stuff, and
Their
that was
their their plan was hope.
right.
And hope and
Well,
hope and hope is
had they
unplugged.
done that, I they would have been. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Doesn't
I'm
matter
with you.
now. But we'll see. We got the All-Star break and then the long stretch coming. So,
Yeah.
and the Cavs made a move, adding Hunter for Karis LeVert. That's a solid addition
Yeah.
to an already a team that's playing well. So,
Looks like they're odd your boy Ben Simmons soon too.
uh, if they actually that would be a great pickup for them. He has to go somewhere where, well, I
Well,
don't know. Going
no
to a first place
expectations.
team, yeah, going to a first place team might not be the best for him.
Yeah.
Although he would come off if he comes off the bench, you know.
Yeah.
But he
Cleveland's
needs
quiet enough.
he still might need to go to like a I don't know G League allow some
Memphis Grizzlies,
yeah
somewhere
somewhere
quiet.
somewhere quiet that
Memphis is
also
perfect. He can just toss it up to Zach Edey and just give Ja Morant a break. He likes to
yeah
pass. He just doesn't like to shoot. So, all right, let's go with closing. What do we got
all
on
right.
closing thoughts?
So obviously Super Bowl Sunday, there's a lot of things you would think I'm going to say something about that, and I will. I mean, but I do want to give a shout out to a little nostalgia, having Tennessee and UConn play women's basketball,
That's a great game.
and Tennessee pulling it out. I mean, it just felt good. I miss, it would have been cool to have just brought back the Pat Summit,
Yeah.
the Shamika Holmes Day. It just felt a little different. So love that rivalry, old school rivalry, and good to see Tennessee being competitive. But my final statement is going to be simply with the big game coming up. Um, shout out, I can't believe I'm saying this. Shout out to Nick Sirianni because as much as easy as it is to put the success of the Birds year in and year out on the coordinators, on the players, on the one consistent piece throughout his success. And he's had a historic start to his coaching career, up there with the best of them, win percentage, winning seasons, 10 plus win season. Through it all, he's the one coach that's been him and the O-line, Stoutland. There might be others. Sorry if I missed you, but he's got to get credit. He's got to get credit.
He's amazing.
Multiple offensive coordinators, multiple 3 years, three offensive coordinators, 3 years, three defensive coordinators, and then 4 or 5 if you include the interims. He's there. He keeps them together. They play like a family. Thank God for social media because I can see just how amazing they are as a group, as a collective. And shout out to Howie Roseman. Let me give you this stat that I made. I didn't see a meme anywhere. I didn't find this on a GIF or whatever. I literally was thinking this last night and I created it. I'm gonna post it. 16 of the 22 starters were drafted by the Eagles.
Wow.
And on defense, 7 of 11. And
Wow.
of the 7,
Remember when you all drafted Aguilar, and I thought
yeah,
that was the
relax.
dumbest thing ever?
That's now to this day. I had not forgiven him. I forgive him now because then I looked at this. Matter of fact, I just sent it I saved it in a thread because I couldn't believe it. So I did a little further. I was like, yo, this is wild. So then I looked it up. Okay, and then of the 7, right? Or excuse me, of the 9 out of 11 defensive starters were drafted by the Birds. Okay, Nolan, Smith, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Williams,
Jalen
Sweat,
Carter.
N'Kobe,
Traded the
uh,
Bears.
Quentin
Mitchell.
Mitchell, Cooper,
Dijon.
Blankenship. Well, Blankenship was an undrafted free agent, but still, of those 9, okay, 7 of them were drafted in the last 3 years. Think about this draft class. So 3 years ago, we
Again,
picked up
you're picking the Chiefs tomorrow.
Davis, Jordan Davis, N'Kobe, and Blankenship. 2 years ago, Nolan, Smith, and
Man,
Jalen Carter. This past year, Quentin and DeJean, DeJohn. We've got 7. time are you listening?
I
In the
am.
last 3 years, we've drafted 7 starters. And then if you go one more year out from that is when we got Williams, and then 7 years ago with Sweat. That is phenomenal. Offensively, you got Hurts,
Hmm.
Goddard, Devontae, Mailata. Jurgens was also part of that 3 years ago group.
It's going to be so hard to watch this
So
game
three
tomorrow.
years ago,
Oh
we
my God.
drafted one, two, three, 4 Super Bowl starters 3 years ago. But you got Hurts, Goddard, Devontae, Mailata, Jurgens, Dickerson, Lane, and these are just what starters. Are you
That
kidding me?
that is a compelling final
Howie
closing.
Roseman, first ballot Hall of Fame. He's the first person that should go into the Hall of Fame before even retiring. Birds all day, every day. I love you. If they lose, it would actually hurt way more than any other because I genuinely see that they are fit
Again,
as
go
coaching.
Eagles.
Birds 41-7. What say
Okay.
you?
My final thought is simply a shout out to the WNBA. That landscape has changed tremendously in the last 2 weeks. Brittany Griner going to Atlanta, Jewel Lloyd going to the Vegas Aces, Kelsey Plum going to LA, but most notably, the complete revamping of the Indiana Fever roster.
Mm.
DeWanna Bonner coming on in from Connecticut. Gosh, I'm just trying to think of everybody, but they've done an extent. Howard, I think Najisha Howard is there. I wanted to get Sydney down here because she'd give us the entire scoop. But the fever look. Oh, Sophie Cunningham, who I love, who's been with Phoenix the last couple of years. That squad looks nice. They brought back Kelsey Mitchell. Of course, they still got Aaliyah Boston and the GOAT, Caitlin Clark. That squad looks good. So we can talk
So
about that more during our
so
next
what's
episode.
wait,
But
what's your no right now? You're way too early take. Who wins the NWA chip next year?
I like them.
Wait,
I like them.
Fever?
I
Fever?
like them. That squad looks nice. You got DeWanna Bonner and Aaliyah Boston, and then you got Howard, and then you're bringing off the bench Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham and Katie Lou Samuelson with Kelsey and with Caitlin Clark. That squad looks nice.
They've literally replicated uh
Stephanie
the
White is
Warriors.
coach.
They, they've
Stephanie White
they've
is
they've
coach.
replicated the Warriors when they made their first run.
Man, you
That
want to
team
talk?
is they have the equivalent to Harrison Barnes. They basically added Harrison Barnes. They've got they had Draymond. Now they've added what was who's in the middle? Sort of Z or something. But their roster is kind of replicated in
Look
terms of
good.
interior presence that you need to match with size, but then obviously leaves you susceptible to pick and rolls and outside movement because they've got some they are
They look
built
good.
1 through 7 pretty solidly.
I'm
One
picking
through
them. I'm picking them right now. Aces, of course, look good with Jewel Lloyd, but her and Kelsey Plum to me are pretty. That's a tough one because Kelsey, I really like her game too. But Fever
I'm
look nice.
surprised. I'm surprised they would shake up that locker room like that.
You never know. You never know what's going on. So Sparks also look good too. Cameron Brink coming back from injury. And we'll see where Paige Beckers goes. So Seattle has the number 2 pick. If for some reason she were to slide, a
Is
reunion with Nika
is
Mule would be pretty cool.
is Juju eligible?
No, she's only a sophomore. She has to wait another year.
She does have to wait, yeah. Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Love to see it. My money's always in that level of basketball. It's always on the better coach, and I still think Becky Hammon is.
Stephanie White's nice. And let's close out with a little random factoid. The first college basketball team, women's hoops, to have who that was coached to a national championship with a black head coach,
Her name is Dawn.
Carolyn Peck, the Purdue Boilermakers back in 1999,
You said that you told me that. You
and
gave me that information.
Stephanie White was on that squad.
That's
I
how
did,
they were tied in. Yes, you
I
you
didn't know
said that
that.
before.
So super
Yep,
cool. So
me
shout out to Stephanie White. Again, enthusiasm. And that's how you get a squad looking right when you get a good coach. Shout out to the Bears. Y'all looking good. Ben Johnson looking good. Next year's
I
football
don't
team.
know.
So this was good though. This was good.
All right, brother. Good seeing you.
You
We'll
too.
talk. Can't wait to see what that Kelly Green on. Got to show the people tomorrow. We'll do a brief, maybe a quick check-in before the game, like right before the game. We go live or something so people can see you in that Kelly Green. They got to see it.
Yeah, see it.
All right.
Go Birds.
Peace.
Deuce.